All right, welcome back to another episode of the KarterKast. I'm your host, Karter Baughan. Snake draft time. This week is Worst Types of People draft. Before we get into today's episode, we are brought to you by SeatGeek. Download the SeatGeek app or go to SeatGeek.com. Use code KarterKast, KarterKast, for $20 off your first purchase. $50 minimum purchase required. All right, let's get into the show.
Whoa. Can I add something about SeatGeek?
All right, go for it.
Okay. I want to shout out SeatGeek, code KarterKast, $20 off. Got tickets to the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. It was a beautiful event. J.D. Vance, Vice President, Ohio, represent. No alcohol, no shots. No shots.
Before you keep going, turn your mic gain down just a little bit.
Yeah,
we can keep this all in here.
I just got blown away.
Yeah, we just got
Test. Is that louder or quieter? Test.
Yeah,
test.
You're good now. Good. Yeah.
Good? Okay.
Anyhow, all right. Great start to the show.
Yeah, we're back, baby. We're back.
So, wait, did you go, or is that a joke?
I went. Heard beautiful speeches. J.D. Vance, Ohio Senator. I believe Amber Rose spoke. Hulk Hogan. No alcohol there. No shots. No shots at the Republican National Convention.
So what would you say to the reports that there was a major Grindr outage in Milwaukee because of the Republican National Convention? If you don't know what Grindr is, it's the gay Tinder.
Conspiracy theory. I think that the big news, big media, they're trying to perpetrate something that didn't actually happen. And as far as I know, Sketch wasn't there. So, I don't know.
There it is.
Great start to the show.
There it is.
Ben's back for his first draft of the year. Connor's back. Dylan's back. Last two drafts, I think the consensus was Connor won those two drafts. Like I said before we started recording, I asked multiple players in the Big 12. I said, hey, who won this draft? Pete Thamel said me, but I don't know if I respect Pete Thamel's opinion.
How much are we weighing that opinion? Yeah, let's talk about that.
He said, he's like, yeah, Chips and Salsa wins it for me. I said, Pete, I know that was my team. I still have more integrity than that. I didn't like his answer. Anyhow, but then multiple players. The consensus was Dylan won from the football players because rolls and breadsticks, the double carved up. Now, a big thing was everyone hated the Caesar salad.
I mean, it depends. If you're going to ask offensive linemen, do you like the pick with Caesar salad? They're probably going to say no.
Yeah. D linemen too, and linebackers. But when you look at the graphic and you see that green on the bottom right, you're like, ugh.
It's also tough when you don't like. I would not have put Buffalo Wild Wings Caesar salad on that draft board.
No,
but Texas Roadhouse, I would have.
I put a T-Road Caesar salad.
But the picture that doesn't specify.
No. That was from Texas Roadhouse's website. I had to Photoshop that picture too.
Carter.
I photoshopped that picture for you.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe that's a Texas Roadhouse Caesar salad. What I'm saying is people just read Caesar salad. They might not recognize the delicacy of Texas Roadhouse Caesar salad, and they think, this is from Buffalo Wild Wings, who has the worst Caesar salad of all time.
Take your L.
The offensive lineman voted for me.
Stop the count.
No, just say it was a bad pick.
Caesar salad?
Yeah, it was a bad pick.
He won't do it.
I can't. No, never. Nope. I have faith on who I put out there, or what I put out there, and I would never advocate for that pick to step down from their position.
He trusts his guys.
Yeah,
I trust my team's on the court. Yeah. I said it 5 times during the draft.
He did say it 5 times and quoted Hoosiers many times in that draft. Anyhow, let's get into this draft. We already picked the order before the show. First is Dylan, then Ben, then myself, and then Connor. It's worst types of people. So you can't do individual people. So I would say like Judas or Hitler. They're off the board.
Good answers. Good answers, though.
Yeah, good answers, yeah. And then we'll have our states draft coming up later this week. Subscribe. Do all that you can. Tune into that. But let's get into the show today. Dylan, first pick, worst types of people draft, 1-1.
Yep. Number 1, worst type of person, types of people that are too old for the jobs that they hold.
Oh.
Okay, I'm done. No,
timely.
I'm kidding.
That's
Very timely.
I'm done with the politics. I'm done. Number 1, worst person, and this by far 1A of the draft encompasses so many traits. Narcissists. People that think the world revolves around them. This includes people that can never be wrong. They say something and they're like, oh, even if you do provide them with evidence that they're wrong, they still don't admit that they're wrong.
Yeah, kind
Like
of
you're done with
like
politics.
kind of like Will Levis believers, or
No,
Michigan football.
no.
If you provide the evidence that Michigan football cheated, Michigan football fans are still like, oh, it didn't happen. Like
Carter.
isn't that narcissistic behavior?
I was going to add people who don't like C.J. Stroud or don't think he's very good.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
narcissistic
now,
behavior.
oh my gosh, it's not narcissistic. The facts are Will Levis had a 4-touchdown performance against the Falcons. The facts are we're taking a one season sample size of C.J. Stroud and saying he's the next Tom Brady.
Okay, but you're taking a 1-game sample size.
Okay. Well, what do you want me to do? He played like 8. Oh, what do you want me to do?
You're complaining about the sample size. This is a great warm up. This is a great get the muscles building for August. That was great right there. Anyhow,
Narcissist.
Also, Dylan, Michigan. I'm a Michigan man. You know that.
Yeah. Well, you say you are, but then you bring that up when I talk about narcissism.
You know I was a Michigan man since day one. Anyhow, so narcissist.
Narcissist and 1-1. Narcissists.
Okay.
That's a good pick. I think
Now
that
what-
encompasses a lot, like you said.
Yeah, because I feel like there's just overlap with some of these. We'll get into
Yeah.
that, but I feel like there's going to be overlap where okay, you can say, that group is narcissistic or something like that. But anyhow,
Yes.
all right, that's first overall pick, Ben.
I went a little more in a different direction,
I think Ben and I went in the same direction.
less characteristics and more like people who specifically do things, like a certain thing. And the first thing is going to be people who are at an airport, on an airplane, at a sporting event, anywhere where they're just listening to videos or music or whatever loudly with no earbuds in.
Good pick.
Like, I was at a Los Angeles Dodgers game when they're playing the Yankees on a Friday night. This is a few years back. It's big time game, sold out. Everything was super expensive. And then there's a guy behind me who's just loudly playing on his phone watching the Angels, which is that's its own worst kind of person. Someone who's at a Dodgers game watching the Angels instead. That's its own category. But yeah, I'm going to say people who listen to things they always have the volume up max too.
Yep.
It's not just they're quietly, sometimes if I don't have earbuds or I don't want to put them on, I'll put my phone right up, right?
Yeah.
No,
Put a quick
people who are
clip,
just sitting
10
there.
seconds.
Yeah, people who are just watching TikToks, just scrolling through with just the volume on max, no
Yeah,
earbuds.
you
The
would-
worst.
You would hate going to a Miami Beach. Going to South Beach would be your worst nightmare.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah, no, I had that second round grade for me on that one.
I think that's a good pick.
Any qualms with the pick?
No qualms. I think that's spot on because, like you said, airport, airplane, primetime spot, sporting event is the worst. Because, you're sitting there beside somebody who's watching a completely different game. I'm with you on that one. Great pick.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go third overall. I'm up next. Let's go. This is an easy one. I think this is in line with Dylan's as well. Let's go Karens. Anytime,
that's a great one.
If any of
Karens,
you
that's a good
guys
one.
if any of you guys have done customer service, retail, worked in food, any of those types of jobs, Dylan, you worked at Chipotle. You know them. They come in there and they're all entitled, and they come in. They're like, "Yeah, I wanted more chicken," and just on top of you. I worked at a hotel. It's a nightmare. They make everyone's day hell. Everything revolves around them, like a narcissist. I think this is just a 1A, 1B pick right here with you, Dylan.
I agree, and a little look inside of Dylan lore. I also worked at a campground, and that was by far where I experienced the most Karens. Was working at the front desk of a campground.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is out. Oh, I want half my money back. I can't do that. I'm 19 years old. I can't give you half of your money back. And people just come in and complain. Absolute worst. I'm sure it's similar with hotels.
It's a disaster. Same thing. Yeah, it's my toilet's clogged. Well, you took a huge dump, lady. I don't know what you want me to do. I want my money back. My toilet's clogged.
I'm not on poo-poo duty.
Yeah, I was I'm not going up there and getting poop out. I'll call maintenance.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys. Do you think it's funny when stuff like this happens and you're a bystander? I get secondhand embarrassment. I'm I can't believe they're actually doing this, or if their kids are with them or something.
No, if you've worked customer service or any of that, the whole time all you do is that person. That person is thinking the worst thoughts in their head behind that desk or that counter, where they're they want to absolutely kill that person in front of
Or you're next in line and you like apologize for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry that happened to you. Like,
Yes,
I can't
that's-
believe that.
Yeah.
Best
That's
type
the
of people
move.
draft. Best type of people draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you got to do. That's a great move. Anyhow, Connor, back to back.
All right, back to back here. Last pick of the first round. This was pretty high up on my board. I think overall it's going to be a good reception here. I'm going to go people that refuse to pay you back. That is going to be my first pick.
Refuse?
Well, or just not timely with it.
Forget?
People who forget to pay you back or just refuse to. Yeah, quote forget.
Yeah, I had people who don't Venmo like on my board. Same
Yeah,
thing.
because then it gets awkward. Because if they're one of your good friends, it's like, all right, I don't want to ask about this for the third time. It's only like $15, but it's still $15. I'm gonna want that.
Yep.
And then if it gets to like a week or two later, they're gonna forget about it for good, and then you're past your point of no return. So it gets awkward at this point. Like, I love when people just take the initiative and are like, hey, you paid for that. Like, let me split it with you. Let me hit your Venmo as soon as it happens, not a week later.
Best type of people draft. Yeah, the opposite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you're just upfront about it and say, hey, this is a gift. Don't worry about it. And you don't have to
Right.
worry about getting. I'm with you. So I wanted to gauge the room here, the metaphorical virtual room. Pro for or against Venmo requests?
If the other person knows it's coming, I think that's fine. But I'm always the one who like will send a text and be like, hey, yo, you want to hit me for that? Like $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just
Yeah.
going to send a request without some kind of accompanying text.
Okay.
I was gonna say 4, but I think it's one of those weird things where, like, it feels like when you get hit with a Venmo request and you don't know about it, you like take it personally. Like you get pissed.
It's a little passive aggressive.
I don't understand why you do. I think it is the passive aggressive nature of it, but you naturally are just like, what the hell? Like,
Yep.
what are they? But yeah, no, I think the text is more effective. But like, I think if we all normalized not getting pissed about that and that being like
Yes.
fine, it's a good way of going about it. But
I'll say it. I think we killed the first round.
That's
I
pretty
think
good.
so too.
Yeah.
Or
I
the
mean,
step up. The step up is like you hit the remind button on the Venmo request after it's been like a few hours.
I have one Venmo request that someone in my family has not fulfilled yet, and I don't know how to approach it.
Just keep hitting remind. It gets to a certain point where you don't care anymore, and it's like, all right.
Connor, it's like your first week on a sports book, and you're getting the remind like for the $27.
Yep. Or it's like, here, this is where you're staying. I have your family's Facebook, so pay me the $150, or I'm going to expose you. That's always a good one.
That's an off-air one.
Is there a point where you can hit the remind so often that it becomes almost like lighthearted and funny?
It's like a poke on Facebook.
Yeah, like a poke on Facebook.
I don't think so. I think it would get to the point
It's like
where
a
you're just
dagger.
like, yeah, I don't know. I think it would just piss me
Okay.
off even more. Connor, you're up back to back.
All right, so this is tough because there's a couple picks I really like here, but I'm going to try to read the room here. And my next pick's going to be people who like the thermostat at 72 or higher. I think that is
oh, absolutely.
Pick of the draft.
because you walk in and I mean, some people want it 76, 77. It's like, are you trying to burn me out of here? I can't believe sometimes people like that. That's the pick though, because a cool 69, 70 degrees, that's the sweet spot for thermostats in my house at least.
Connor, gotta ask, do you pay your own electric bill?
I do.
And you keep it at what temperature in your house?
Usually 70, sometimes 71.
Oh,
my girlfriend's a big like, let's put it on 74 and we have to compromise because I would like it on 69.
So you draw the hard line at 72?
Well, it's more so just places you go into that are smoking hot, like
Okay.
73, 74.
Yeah,
I think that's a good number.
I think this has got to be the last favor we do, but we'll change the graphic to people who like high temperatures kind of thing, like
Okay.
high temperatures in the house, because
I think 72 is where I draw the line.
72, it's tough because it does suck in there, but I think it's bearable. I think 74 is the cutoff where it's like, I will die
okay.
if I'm in here for 10 minutes. But then, like, you're at your grandma's house in a North
Yes.
Carolina summer, it's 83.
Thanksgiving at a grandparent's house, you are going to have to step outside at some point because you might die if you eat and then sit in that heat for more than 15 minutes.
And you're sitting there, you're like, why did I bet the Lions today? They're losing.
Yeah.
Or if you're there during like food preparation, it gets like it is a furnace in that kitchen. It gets
well, we're not. Well, us four aren't in the kitchen.
we're in the living room. We're in front of the TV.
Speak for yourselves, boys. Speak for yourselves. I'm quite the chef. Just saying.
Good
saying.
pick overall, though. Good pick.
I was
Good pick
making
overall.
I was making a very bad women in the kitchen joke, Dylan.
In
And
2024.
I don't stand for that. So that's why I try to chime in.
We'll find out
They
about
called me
that.
a woman?
We'll find about that. We'll find out about that in the states draft.
Yeah, we will. We will.
All right, I love that pick. That's a great.
What's
pick.
the last
Go
question about this pick? What's like the line of command? Like, how much power do you have? Can you walk into like your
No.
family member's house and turn
No.
it down? I know
can't talk-
friends,
Oh,
obviously
no.
not.
No,
you
But
just
what
got
about your
you just
parents'
kind of
house?
have to die.
You take it on the chin. No,
Like-
you sweat. You sweat. You take it on the chin.
I'm not quite
Parents'
there.
house, no.
What's the point?
oh,
What's the point
parents-
of no return? To where it's like how hot do you have to get to ask to change the temperature?
You don't even ask. You hit them with the
It's hot.
it's kind of toasty in here. You hit it,
Okay.
you put out those feelers. I think.
Yeah, never touch. Never touch.
Okay.
Unless
You
it's your
can't-
unless you're back at your parents' house and you're like, all right, screw y'all. This is getting down to
I
60.
no, I
67.
don't even think you can do that at your parents' house. How disrespectful is that? They raised
Oh.
you.
Yeah, and guess what? They made me someone that likes the temperature 67 degrees. I'm gonna make it 67
All right.
degrees.
Our actions have consequences.
Worst people draft. Who's going to take the person that touches the thermostat?
Not me. Yeah, no.
Not me. Yeah, usually it's in my favor.
Have you had that happen to you? Has anyone ever touched your thermostat? That would
Me?
be Yeah, it's happened to me before because I like it at like 65 if I had
All
my choice.
all controlled by the phone, baby. No one's going up to that thing and changing it. It's all smartphone.
Hey Alexa.
Dylan's got that thing locked behind a steel cage.
Yeah.
All right, next pick. All right, that's
Great
what I was
pick.
thinking, but yeah.
Great pick.
Yep. All right, round 2, my second pick. We're going people that chew with their mouth open.
Oh
Okay.
no. Who cares? Who
Oh,
cares?
that's awful. It's awful. It's terrible.
It's loud.
Learn how to eat. If you are an adult, learn how to eat. If you're at a nice dinner and you're sitting there, learn how to eat. Quit being a 5-year-old. It's the worst sound in the world. It's more of a pet peeve, but it's something that's so preventable
counts.
too. It's something that's so preventable. What, Dylan? What?
I think that's fair, and I guess maybe the issue would be with me is if you made the issue like if you can hear people that chew too loud, because
That's what it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm not
But-
saying like.
well, then I
like,
draw the line
it's
there.
It's like smacking. That's what I'm saying. Like that would be the pick.
But I think people can still chew too loud and have their mouth closed, and
Yeah,
at
but
that
that's-
point, it isn't.
That's essentially like, oh, I don't have to deal with a Karen, but Karens are annoying. Like, so essentially, let's say you're not working a customer service job and you don't deal with Karens ever. That's essentially the same argument, where you're like, oh, I don't see them, so it doesn't really matter. Like, why does it matter? But oh, I don't see this. I'm not around the smacking, so it doesn't really matter. It's not affecting me. But if you do hear it or you're around a Karen, it's awful.
I'm saying, does it bother you if someone chews too loud and their mouth is closed? Because that's possible.
Yeah,
At
you
that
have to
point,
be-
they
you-
can't
I feel like you have to
control
be-
that.
I feel like I don't think that matters as much. Like if you're eating like kettle cooked chips or something, like the crunch is going to be loud. Like
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
yeah, that's different. But
Okay,
when you're
all
like
right.
outwardly like dude, you're an adult. You
ASMR.
can't be doing that. Yeah,
It's when you can do something to make it quieter. And you
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
right?
that's fair. I
Like
can
the-
concede that.
don't. That's my interpretation.
yeah. But that's where we're going with. Who's up next? Ben, you're up next.
Okay, for this one, we got a couple plays here. I'm specifically gonna go in a sports direction. Growing up and having the coach, the you need to make that play coach.
Oh,
We're like,
That's
thanks,
Dylan.
man.
That's
Thanks.
Dylan.
Oh,
I'm not
it
a
is?
coach. I'm not a coach.
No, Dylan, that's you. Oh, make the play. What did you say every week talking about Bryce Young? It was make the play, make the play.
That's what you guys always said about Bryce. He's a playmaker. He extends plays. He makes the things happen. And then when he starts playing poorly, you guys, bad offensive line. Oh, bad wide receivers. No, he's a playmaker, boys. Why is he not making the plays? And I'm also
That
not a
sounds
coach.
That sounds like a coach to me.
Well, back to the pick. It's like let's say I'm playing shortstop, right? Ground balls hit to me, hits off my glove, not able to collect and throw it to first on time. And your coach is like, "Hey, you got to make that play." It's like I'm well aware I have to make that play. Like I didn't try to not make that play. Like, give me feedback as to how I could like have done that better, rather than telling me what you wish the result was, because that doesn't help me. Because I also wanted that. You know what I mean? I don't know. This might be too specific. It might not.
No.
This is probably a 4th round pick, but
Ben, I know exactly what you're saying, because the number one thing that irked me as a pitcher in select ball, high school ball, whatever, just throw strikes.
just those strikes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Why don't I try that next time? I was really trying to throw balls there. Thanks, Dad or Mom or Coach.
Yeah.
Hate that.
No, I think it's a great pick. It's a tough one to put on the graphic. I think if you're listening to the podcast, that sounds great. I think on the graphic it's going to be a tough one to play out, because people are like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Or just kind of like stating the obvious. Like you said, Ben, it's like, I'm very well aware that I should have made that play. It's like somebody comes up to you, it's like, you need to hit that shot. It's like, oh, thanks. Like, oh, make your free
I didn't
throw.
try.
Like, I didn't go up there to miss. I'm not going up there to like
Yes.
clink it off the backboard. I'm with you. That's what makes me the most mad, is like when people, this is like a broader thing, when people just state the obvious, where it's like, oh, that wasn't good. Like, your car blows up. Oh, that wasn't good. Thank you. Like, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Like, that awesome piece of knowledge.
that would be a great pick.
yeah.
Stating the obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a great
Not
pick.
tipping picks or anything.
But I feel like, I kind of feel like on a graphic, if you put like,
Just quote.
if you
Gotta
just
have that.
like just quote, you need to make that play, coach. I think everyone who's played a sport knows what you're talking about.
100%.
Okay.
So
100%.
I think it plays all right.
Dylan, back to back.
This is tough. Okay, we'll go a little bit more lighthearted here than narcissist. People that don't follow order. And I'm going to give some specific...
Specifically, Southside Chicago, Oakland.
So Hitler wasn't on the board? I thought, what are we doing? Sounds a little like Aryans. Ooh. Sorry.
Dylan, this is a great pick, because the graphic, I'm just gonna put someone getting pulled over, because you know those pulled over videos, like, I know my rights, like that's
Yes. Yeah, that's what I meant by this. That is what I meant by this.
Man.
I'm going to say it again. People that don't follow order, and this is specifically what I'm talking about. You cross the street, you don't have the walk sign. I don't care.
No.
If cars aren't coming.
wrong.
I
wrong,
don't know.
Wrong.
I don't care.
If
That's-
if cars aren't coming, you're in New York City. No one's coming. I'm walking.
All right, throw it on the graphic. Throw it on the quote card. Karter pro jaywalking, which is illegal. So
Yeah.
people that
Dylan, you need to make a trip to Rexburg, Idaho, because they have
I'll
cops.
pass.
It's the first time anybody's ever said that sentence.
No, it's set up for Dylan, because they have cops that sit out and wait for people to jaywalk, because they make sure you cannot jaywalk in that town, and you get a $75 ticket every time you jaywalk.
That is, as a Mormon, that is the most Mormon thing I've ever heard in my life. I will say.
That's the
It's-
quote card.
It's so on brand.
I don't want to give out any state picks, but just from that statement you made right there, Karter, Idaho might have scratched the top 4. I'm just saying. I don't know. So
That's good.
but one example that I think I might get more agreeance with is like when you're deplaning and people in the back grab their stuff and rush up to the front.
Oh,
Like,
my
that's
God.
It's not how this is supposed to work. You're in
See,
the front, you get your stuff, and you go.
That's a solid
Amazing.
one. So the other thing about the plane one, I thought that would get drafted. I guess like it's in that gray area where Dylan picked. But the plane one where like people are like, oh, you can't stand up on planes. I'll be honest, I don't care. If you can let someone pass by if they need like a connection, like that's different.
No.
Dude, if it's a 6-hour flight, I want to stand up and stretch my legs a little bit.
It's not the standing up that bothers me. It's the people from like
it's the
row
rush.
30 that rush to the front and like elbow you out of the way just because they're going to get off 30 seconds faster.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Now, if they do have like a 10-minute connection or something that they're trying to make,
Yeah,
Don't
situational.
care.
But you got to. No, I'm okay with that. But you've got to make it known.
Yep,
Ooh,
you got
okay.
to
Go,
run through the aisle.
Hey,
Say,
stop! I
"How's-"
got a connection.
Yep.
And if I have like a hour and an hour plus, like, wait, I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's me.
I don't know. Playing better. If you have 10 minutes to make a connection, playing better. That's all I gotta say. Can we? So for people
What
that
about
don't
when it's
follow,
American Airlines' fault?
That's tough.
Then you
Yeah,
turn
they're
into
like-
a Karen.
grow up, get a better job, fly Delta. That's what I have to say.
Oh,
That's fair. That's a fair one.
Jesus.
Just saying. Check my privilege. For people that don't follow order, can I also include, like, in my mind, I also have people that cut in line. Like, that is people that don't follow order.
Yeah,
It's just like unspoken rules.
Okay.
Like
unspoken
rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No, we're not going to do that one. People that over-exaggerate. And this is, people that make things that aren't urgent. Like, oh, we got to do this right now. Like, no, we don't. We have plenty of time. People that, like, make things that aren't important. I don't have a great example of that off the top of my head.
Yeah, you do, but you can't say it. Yeah, you do.
I don't. When I was coming up with this list, I was not thinking of anybody. These are just things that I am like, oh, wow, this is annoying. And this is a statement to me. I feel that I'm very go with the flow kind of guy. So when people come up and be like, oh, this has to get done. I'm like, no, it doesn't. The world will revolve and it will keep moving on if it doesn't get done immediately.
Be done tomorrow.
It can be done tomorrow. Yeah, it can be done tomorrow. That's my third thing.
I'll tell you what, Dylan. I know our huge amount of female listeners are not going to like that pick.
They're not.
My wife will, and that's all I care about.
Great answer.
She will love that pick. She will love that pick.
Dylan, I don't know. You're sitting there, you're chilling, you're watching college football on a Saturday. You go, hey, Dylan, can you clean up the living room? And you're like, I'll do it in a little bit. No, do it right now.
Let me give you the hack, Carter. Make sure it's clean all the time so you don't get tasked with that.
Okay. What about help with dishes?
Take care of them. If you know you're going to be sitting on the couch all weekend, you get everything done before you. There is no opportunity. And even if that was to happen, shout out Abby, wife shout out. She is cognizant of what goes on weekends in the fall, and she tries to avoid that. Yes, for the most. Yeah.
Also, just order food. It's weekend. It's Saturday. Order food. Football.
Yeah, no dishes. No dishes.
Oh yeah,
yeah
no dishes.
Yeah.
Paper plates if you have to make something.
Yeah. All right, Ben, third round pick.
My third round pick, I'm going to go with parents out in public who aren't paying attention to what their kids are doing.
Oh, great.
You're like in a restaurant. You're in a
Big
restaurant.
one in Utah. Big one in Utah.
It's very much like, it's very generational. Like, it's very much a millennial thing, I believe, where there's all these little kids running around the restaurant. The parents are just sitting there socializing. And for me, it's not about the behavior of the children. It's the principle of the parents not being cognizant enough or like aware enough to be like, yeah, they're like, oh, like, at least try to calm your kids down for the people around you. And it's when they don't try that irks me. Because it's a blatant disrespect for other people who are around you.
Okay.
That hit home for me. I was at the beach this a few weeks ago, and all time week of that happening. I'm in line to get ice cream or food or something, and these 4-year-olds run up and bump into me, try to cut me in line, go up to like look at the ice cream window, and it's like parents are screwing around in the back. It's like, do you think this is okay? Like, I'm not faulting the kids for being kids, but how do you approve of that? Like, and you have to at least be like, hey, pull them back.
There's nothing worse than having to make eye contact with them, huh, Dylan?
Eye contact with kids. We've already talked about that. We're gonna, yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
You got to do the over the shoulder look. You just go.
Yeah, like
that's the thumbnail.
Like you're checking out what's going on.
Yeah. You're like, oh, what's going on back there? Because it's so loud that I'm noticing it. It's that passive aggressive. Like I was recently eating pizza. We were at a sit down pizza place, and there was this kid screaming about how he wanted mac and cheese. I stared this family down like a hawk.
Well, I was gonna say, has it ever come to the point where you will say something to the parents and be like, "Really?
No,
like really?
No.
I've gotten close. I've gotten really close.
I want to tell you yes, but like I'm self-aware enough to go no. I would.
Okay.
Even though I want to.
Or you just scare the kid a little bit. You go, hey, and
whoa, hold on now.
No, but also people who complain about babies on a plane or something like that. It's like, dude, there's nothing they can do.
No. But the parents are trying, right?
Yeah, the parents are trying to like, hey, yeah.
Like that's okay. That's okay. It's not about the behavior of the children. It's the parents' lack of action.
Yeah.
If they're acting and the parents are still terrible, like whatever. What can you do?
Yeah, the baby's wailing and she's just sitting there watching anyone but you. You're like, dude, take care of the kid. Like, stop watching the movie.
Can I add one more thing about that? There was one family on a flight that I took from Denver to Richmond where there was a kid who was pressing the flight attendant button.
No,
you don't do that. Yeah. And then like the flight attendant comes up and they're like, can I like have pretzels? Like, can I have a snack? It's like, and the parents are just letting this happen. You're like, this can't happen.
That's a great example.
That's tough.
This can't happen.
We're doomed.
Yeah.
All right, I have a lot left on my board now in the third round. I'm gonna go with one that really pisses me off, especially when you're in New York City. Or the greatest example of this is you're at the airport and you got the jetway or the walkway thing. That's the accelerated one, or whatever, the treadmill looking thing. Slow walkers. People who walk slow piss me off more than anything. I've got places to be. Get out of the way, especially on the airport jetway things, or treadmills, whatever they're called. People who just don't walk on those. What do you do? Like how fat and lazy? I'm fat and lazy, but how fat and lazy are you that you're not gonna walk on that thing? It goes 2 miles an hour. Walk your fat butt across that thing.
So I agree with you about the slow walkers, and a lot of people want to say golfers are not athletes, but because I golfed in high school and college, I'm now just a lifelong fast walker. So I hear you there. I am one of those guys that will stand on the people movers. And Karter, my response to you is hop off of me. I'm on vacation. That's my response to that.
But what if you're traveling for work? But what if you're traveling for work and I got to make my connection? Get off the thing.
That's why you stand to the right, and people can go to the left.
Plan better.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, it's more so, I don't care if you're necessarily standing on it, but get out of the way. Make room for the other lane.
Minneapolis Airport has designated right if you're walking, left if you're just standing. So that's huge too. But
all right, that'll be on the airport draft. Good job, Minneapolis.
Carter, there's got to be some special allowances here. Like, what if they're like 80 plus in a wheelchair? Maybe like you still going to shove them out of the way?
They need to be jogging to their gate.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm behind this pick, because I will say this is going to be unpopular. Carter, real quick, it's going to be unpopular.
I don't think it's going to be unpopular. I don't. Slow walkers piss people off.
No, I'm talking about what I'm about to say is going to be unpopular. So my rebuttal to that is, if I notice somebody clearly like being an ass behind me, like trying to jockey for position, I will slow down and block the whole thing just to piss them off.
Oh yes.
Like I do that when I drive too. Like if somebody's weaving in and out of lanes, I will slow down, match the car speed next to me just to piss them off. And that might be bad.
Driving's different, because then that's actually like dangerous. Like with people weaving in and out. Like if you're a slow driver, whatever. Like it pisses me off because I drive a little fast, but like it doesn't. Like if slow driver, I get it. Like you're being safer.
Okay.
Slow, like speed up. If it's an old person, I get it. I understand. But when you're 25 years old and you're just going slow, you're going at 0.25 speed. Just slowly walking. It's like, dude, do you have anything in your life where you need to be somewhere?
Well, the worst is when there's like 4 people in a line and they won't like go 2 and 2 and they're blocking the whole way you need to walk. That's the worst. That's when I get pissed. I'm like, at least don't take up the whole lane.
This includes people walking across the street too.
Yes.
You got to give the courtessy jog, where you're going the same speed as you walk, but you're like pumping your arms a little bit. Like the other day, I love all these things happen daily. Like I'm recounting things from the last 2 weeks. I took a left and I was taking a left. It wasn't like the green arrow. It was just the green light where you yield to pedestrians or whatever's coming, the oncoming traffic, and then you can take a left. Someone passed the lane I was going on, and I guess you technically have to wait until they are fully across the street to go. But I went to in the left lane once they had already passed it. And I was taking a left, right? So they're in like the second lane about to get off, and they like turn around so annoyed that I didn't wait for them to fully go across. I'm like, are you a deer or like a dog that's just gonna dart, like a squirrel that's gonna dart back?
Yeah, everybody's coming back.
Just go. That actually has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Actually, I kind of took it a different direction, but yeah, like. It's like an arrogance about it. Like, I'm gonna go as slow as I want, and like you just have to deal with it because I'm more important than you.
Yeah.
Narcissism. Thank you.
Yes.
Good theme. That just created the theme of the draft. But all right, Connor, back to back.
All right, back to back again here. Third round pick. There's a few left on my board that I really like.
Women drivers, good pick.
Wow.
I knew you had that 1-1 on your draft board, Connor. Great. I wouldn't have picked it myself, but that's just I know
Ballsy.
you, Connor.
Ballsy.
All right. Third round pick here. I'm gonna go people who leave trash in public places. I cannot stand that. It's like if you're at a sporting event or like a movie theater or something. I'm not saying you have to like clean up every crumb, but at least don't leave your popcorn bucket and large soda sitting there in the movie theater. Just take it to the trash can. It's 10 feet away. I think those are the worst type of people because that says something more about them. It's like, I don't have any respect for this place. And that makes me really mad. So that's my pick. But even like just any public place, a concert's a big one. It's like,
Concerts
I'm not
are
gonna,
horrible.
like if you drop popcorn crumbs, whatever, I'm not expecting you to pick those up. That's fine. But just the big stuff, the easy stuff, can of popcorn, a drink, a beer, whatever, just go take it to the trash can. Or people that like will leave it in a parking lot, like sitting on like a parking spot or on the sidewalk or something. Just take it with you until there's a trash can. I can't stand those people.
So I agree with the pick. If you would allow me to play devil's advocate, I would say it is also people's jobs to clean up after events. So if people are picking up their stuff, then you're losing jobs, and then that's the whole butterfly effect.
A police officer's job is to stop crime. Am I going to go rob the corner store down the street because it's their job to stop me? Yeah, come on. I'm not with that. Like, come on.
Well, I'm just saying. It's my mom works at a concert venue, and that's not her job. But I think about someone like my mom whose job might be compromised because people aren't leaving trash anymore.
Nobody's job will ever be compromised because there's no trash left. Like, there will always be crumbs, and like you got to disinfect the seats. Like, just the big stuff. Just take the cans and the cans and like the buckets and everything. Just to take the big stuff.
Yeah, we're not saying pick up your popcorn crumbs or
yeah.
Cracker Jacks.
Okay. That was good. That was fun. Fourth round pick.
Last pick for you.
Last pick for me. There's two that I'm between right now. Oh man, after the reception of that last pick, I'm going to go fourth round pick, people that have no social awareness, inconsiderate of other people's space or time. That is my fourth round pick. Prime time would be like, busy line at the grocery store, only one lane's open, and they're going to chat up with the cashier for like 10 minutes. Yep. Get out of my way. Or people who take like 10 years to order and I'm clearly in a rush, or just something like that. Just no awareness, or people who stand really close to you in line. Just no social awareness of like space and time.
Or like people who walk slow and they're just like, it's my world.
To a certain extent, I guess. This is all kind of narcissism.
You gotta love the people though, where like best kinds of people, they don't know what they want to order, and they turn around and go, "We don't know what we want. You go ahead."
Yes.
Those people, best kinds of people.
I'm with you on that. But yeah, just no social awareness. Because as a society, I think we're heading in a really bad direction of more and more people have no idea just how to act in society. Like I go out in public sometimes, and I'm like, 80% of people in here don't know how to function. I'm like, they really don't know what they're doing. So, yeah, that's the pick. Big worst people right there.
I like it. I mean, I think it's very self-explanatory.
Thank you.
All right, I'll go fourth round, last pick. I have about 3 on my board that I want to take. I'm going to go with this one. I don't know. People might get mad at it. I'm just going to go with people who smell bad. If you
fair, more than fair.
I can't stand people who smell bad. If you're on an airplane, you shower before and after the airplane. You don't smell bad on the airplane. If I'm sitting next to you for 5 hours going to Hawaii, whatever, don't smell bad. I hate people who smell bad. Last pick of my draft.
That's more than fair.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a good pick.
It's super preventable. Like, homeless people, like, okay, whatever. It still smells bad.
Stage draft coming up next.
Dylan and I, we might be sitting here like Idaho 1-1, Texas 1-2. Not Austin though. All right.
Oh, brother.
All right, Ben. Last pick.
Okay, my last pick is going to be people who take up 2 parking spots, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Honestly, it might be worse unintentionally. Like intentionally,
so
you're like, that person's a douchebag for like parking sideways, or they're like very obviously like, I'm taking these 2 spots. The person who just can't park is like, I'm more concerned. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
And that goes back to Connor's 3rd round pick.
They can't. There were some edit points in here, all you listeners. That's
I don't think it got edited.
That's funny. Our big demographic is gonna be mad at me.
I know.
That's a good pick though. I like that pick because the people that do it intentionally. First of all, you're right, douchebag. It's like, I drive a $100,000 car. Okay, park in the back of the lot then. Don't take up 2 spots at the front.
I drive a Dodge Ram.
Yeah.
My truck's big.
No.
But
it's narcissism or just incompetence, and both are the worst types of people.
Yeah, and then also, I think the worst ones for that is like an apartment complex parking garage. Because that's where it's the worst. Because then it's like, this
Limited
is my
space.
spot. I have to park here. I can't park anywhere else.
And I can't.
And you literally can't. I think that's when it's the worst case scenario. But yeah, that's a great pick. No qualms about that one. Dylan, Mr. Irrelevant.
Are we doing honorable mention?
Yeah,
Yes.
we will. After your pick, I'm gonna go through the draft board and we'll do honorable mentions.
Okay, my last pick, pessimists. People that anything can happen and they will find something negative about it. They will harp on it. They won't look for the good in anything.
Glass half empty.
Now,
glass half empty people.
issue with this reverse jinx.
I mean,
That's intentional.
If we're talking about gambling, that's completely separate from real life.
Okay,
That is
okay,
not
I
a
was
real.
gonna say, when you're watching a game, you're like, it's over. Just turn off the TV. I have the under. It's already 28 points in the first quarter. We're done. Like, screw this.
Well,
That's-
that's genuinely
Yeah,
pessimistic.
genuinely
Yes.
pessimistic, but gambling outside the window.
Yeah, I think that operates outside of regular life. But pests, they just suck the life out of everything, and it's like you're excited for something, or you're eating somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, this wasn't that good," or and they just, not a fan, not a fan.
Or you have like a great meal, and it's like, man, that was really good. And they're like, yeah, that's $30 though. Like,
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yes,
great.
great point, Connor. Amazing point.
To add to that, it's like the person you're driving by, you see the lottery number, you're like, oh man, 750 million, that'd be sweet. You're like, oh yeah, but you lose 400 million to taxes.
great one. Great one.
That's great.
You're
That's
like,
great.
yeah, that would suck to have 350 million dollars, man. Like, I'm really down in the dumps.
It's like there's always
be-
a but. There's always a what if. But
My one point would be if you have something negative, keep it to yourself, or maybe tell your wife if you're out with a group. You can tell your wife things. but
Therapist, or
Don't
your
don't.
therapist, yeah.
Or your BetterHelp. We should talk about getting a sponsorship with them. But
good, yeah.
keep it to yourself.
I might need one after this Panther season.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
another good one, you leave at a sports game or something, it's like, man, that was an awesome game. That was a great concert. And then they go, traffic's going to be brutal. Getting out of this parking is going to suck.
no,
It's like,
I
come
agree.
on.
I agree. No, they're right. They're right.
I've been guilty of that one.
Yeah, they're-
Just
When we
enjoy
leave
it.
during
Like,
the third
you know what
quarter-
you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, I know, but what if it's? I went to a concert last night. And afterwards, the whole time you're thinking, "Oh, this traffic's gonna suck. This traffic's
Yeah.
gonna suck." But I agree with you, Connor. It is, or it's just like, just people who are Debbie Downers, man.
Yeah, tough to
Yeah,
be around.
Vibe
or you're
killer.
watching like your favorite team play, and they're playing like a cupcake, and they win like 45-10, and it's like the other team scored, like the FCS team scored like a garbage time touchdown. It's just like, man, I'm concerned about the defense.
I'll tell you what, in college
It's
football,
like, come on.
college football 25, we're not blowing out FCS teams.
No,
we
FCS
are,
Pandas
No.
are good.
yeah,
No.
they are putting us through hell.
Southern Illinois, they had 21 like unanswered points on Friday morning when I got the game, and I said, "Whoa!"
Louisiana
they
Tech
didn't play. They're not playing.
Louisiana Tech took me to 11 overtimes. I mean, it's out of control. Also, real quick, off topic, the college football overtime rule is the dumbest rule in all of sports. The fact that we all of a sudden went to a 2-point overtime conversion off is the stupidest thing in sports. Have it normal overtimes. Let's have 6 overtimes. Who cares?
Worst types of
Here's
people,
what I'll
college
say.
football committee.
It's fun in the video game though. We'll say.
Yeah, but I want it to be normal. I want it to
Okay.
be normal. Yeah, but
It's fair.
Let me run through the draft board, and then we'll get into honorable mentions. Dylan's draft: narcissists, people who don't follow order, people who over-exaggerate, and pessimists. Great draft. I think everyone had a good draft. Ben, people without headphones in public, just playing loud audio. You need to make that play, coach. Parents not watching their kids or lack of effort, and people taking up 2 parking spots. Myself, Karens, people who smack while they eat. Slow walkers, people who smell bad. Connor, people who don't Venmo back. People who like high temperatures, 72 plus. People who don't pick up their trash, and then no social awareness. All right, honorable mention.
For the hot temperatures, we gotta throw Connor's least favorite, whatever the draft is. I'm blanking. I'm sorry, but hot people. Gotta throw hot people on for people that like high temperatures.
Oh, just put a picture of
Just put hot people.
Put a picture of like Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Making a quote card, yeah.
I don't know who those people are. That's going to be the first quote from this show. Actually, there's some better quotes, funnier quotes that definitely got edited out. Anyhow, honorable mentions. Dylan, give me yours.
Anybody that has ever said any form of the sentence, "There's nothing funny about blank." There is something funny about everything if you make a good joke for it. Everything. I don't want to hear it.
Not everything.
This could get you.
Everything.
I'm not gonna go into that one more because
I'm not gonna engage.
Okay. And then
unless I want to edit it out. Unless we want to edit it out, maybe I do. Get it.
No.
All right. We'll let it pass.
people that ask someone where something is and they haven't looked for themselves.
Great one.
All time bad move. And then I think I have one more. Know-it-alls.
Know-it-alls, great pick. But the people who, if you're in someone else's house, I'm just like, where's the bathroom? I don't want to go searching for other rooms and stuff.
Different.
Okay.
I would say different. I'm talking if someone leaves their phone and they haven't looked for it yet, and they're like, "Where's my phone? Have you looked for it? It's laying on the counter over there." Anybody can see that.
Okay. All right. Ben, any honorable mentions?
I think an honorable mention for me is people who have to back into parking spots. Just
great
all
Great
the time.
one.
Or you're just sitting there waiting for them. You're like, oh, they're going this way. Then they just like put on their reverse lights, and you're like,
I kind of like
on.
those people. Like, I'm not that person, but like, I don't know. It's kind of nice.
I disagree. How much difference does it make?
If you have a truck, it does make a difference.
Well, I don't drive a truck, so.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, we know. You went to Carolina.
I'm also gonna say, people with like unnecessary dietary restrictions. if you're genuinely like gluten-free, but it's just like I don't have sugar ever, and you go over to something like they come over to your house and they're like, oh, like I've got these things, what can I eat? And it's like,
God forbid
nothing.
people better themselves, Ben. Gosh.
So
yeah, this is
You
a
can
brutal
better
pick.
yourself without
This is a
putting
brutal
out
pick.
a food group.
Yeah, this is brutal for Connor. Connor
It is.
plead the fifth for Connor over here.
I'm not gonna say a word.
Yeah, because like people who have celiac where they like legitimately cannot eat bread or gluten or whatever. But there's just people like, I'm gluten free. Like, shut up. Eat a donut. Yeah. Unnecessary.
All right.
It's to the extreme though, where it's just like,
Yeah.
is that organic?
It's the people who have to make a point of it.
Well, it's people that flaunt it. It's like, oh, did you see my
Yes.
keto-friendly, gluten-free lunch I had earlier? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I had a double.
And people who change depending on who they're with. And that's all.
Great pick. Great pick.
That's an awesome pick, yeah.
Wish I had that on my board. Connor, honorable mention.
All right, I got a few here. People that don't return shopping carts, that leave them in the parking lot.
Oh, yes. Hate that.
That's I was thinking when your third round pick, you were debating between that one and the pickup
I
trash.
was. But the shopping carts is annoying because those people can't be functioning members of society either. So that goes with that whole spiel. Drivers who weave in and out of cars, people who can only talk about themselves, people who don't actually listen. They only think about what they're going to say next. It's a big one for me.
Yep.
People who claim multiple machines or areas in the gym at the same time, that really gets to me.
Yep.
Bandwagon
Same with
fans,
slot machines.
Yeah, that's a good one. People who like do the double
Not an
slots, can't do that.
Yep.
Bandwagon fans, people that can't be happy for other people.
Ooh, you could have stayed on that one with bandwagon fans. That's a great pick.
Well, bandwagon fans is a big one, especially growing up. It's like, so you like Duke basketball, Alabama football, the Lakers, and the Cowboys. How does that make sense? Well, I'm from Iowa. What? Like, what are you talking about?
That's a big one out west. You'll meet people out west. They're like, I love Duke basketball.
Like, have you ever been east of the Mississippi?
Yeah, and they're
You're
like,
no.
I'm from Vegas, and you're like, why do you like Duke? No, what? What are you talking
It's
about?
like, oh, have you ever been to a game? It's like, no, where do they play? What?
The game part, I don't. That doesn't.
No, but they don't even know where they play, though. It's like, oh, Duke's in
that's
Durham?
different.
What? Yeah.
I feel like bandwagon fans aren't as much of a thing as you get older. I feel like that's
I agree with that.
much of a high school thing.
That's like you're like 14 and you're mad.
Yeah.
About it.
They walk in with a Tom Brady jersey. You're like, what are you?
The big one around here was Ohio State football fan, but Kentucky Wildcats basketball fan.
Yeah,
Hate
that's
that.
an
Hated
evil
that.
person. Evil.
There's a lot of Ohio State football fans in North Carolina, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people from
I'm
Ohio
sorry.
coming to North Carolina. Get them out of here.
A couple
Yeah.
more. People with childish food tendencies, aka chicken fingers and fries everywhere they go. No vegetables, no fruit. Hate that.
That's
People that stand up an
Dylan,
entire.
that's me. That's me. That's me. I
can't
don't know
stand
what I
it.
want to say.
Dylan,
I don't know what I'm to say.
Hey, Dylan, I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah, I
Cheesy
had the
ketchup
taste
only
buds
on
of an
a hamburger?
8-year-old
Like,
boy.
Yeah.
Are you serious
people
right now?
People that stand up an entire sports game, I can't stand that. Like if it's awesome, if it's the Final Four, maybe, but if it's like a regular season game, come on,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
annoying. And then last one, well, two more. People that interrupt your story when you're telling a story, that's the worst thing because you never get your point home. And then hammered people at concerts. I'm not talking like a little tipsy. I'm talking like hammered. They don't know how to act.
Great
Ruins
pick.
the experience.
Some lady was just on top of me, just all over me at a Zach Bryan concert, and then she started fighting some chick behind me. It was a disaster.
It
These
ruins
two
your
drunk
experience.
chicks. It's awful. And then I feel like, I don't know what this is. You know, like, you just feel like you're the person that gets slighted in certain things. You're like, oh, I always get cut off in this street or something. Every time I'm at a concert, someone pours beer on me somehow. I always get beer poured on me. Some way, somehow. I spilled my beer. Stop spilling your beer. That's another
Yeah.
one that could be added to this list.
There's a real easy solution to that problem.
Yeah, cut out the
Go-
alcohol.
Go to Christian concerts.
Prohibition. Oh,
Yep.
Dylan, fire.
Prohibition.
No,
City?
Owl City. Yeah, that's it. Dylan's for prohibition.
I've never said that publicly.
Publicly. Keyword. Anyhow, all right, I'll go through mine real quick. Going back to your stealth mission pick in the Fears draft, Dylan, screen watchers.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Let's see here. These three are kind of in the same light, or communists, UNC fans, and Nazis. That's kind of all in the same light right there. So
Yeah. It's like a
kinda
3-in-1
same thing.
combo. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a buy one get two free. People who don't tip, but then like the argument against that is then it's like you get tipped everywhere. You get tipped to death. You get flipped an iPad when you're like, wait, I ordered my food. I filled up my drink. You just handed me the food at the counter.
People that don't tip at a full service restaurant, maybe.
Yeah,
would
that
be.
would have to be
yeah.
the caveat there. TikTok kids, or
We've covered that one.
or streamers, just like these random streamers. You'll just see like these random streamers online. Not like, well,
Wait a second.
I'm talking
Very
about
timely.
like, you see those clips and you're just like, Jinxie did what?
People
And
that
you're
like
just
clip farm. Yeah.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
Surely you're not hating on the Toy Story 2 streams, right?
What the hell are you talking
Sure.
about?
The
Carter,
Paper
you
Mario
like
streams.
You like them every day. The Paper Mario streams, the
oh.
Toy Story 2 streams.
I didn't know you were doing Toy Story 2 now. I thought it was still Paper Mario.
No, we're on Toy Story 2 now.
Yeah, no, video game streamers are different than like the people who
Okay.
just like
They just talk.
Yeah, they just talk. Yeah, you know.
Okay,
what I'm talking
all right.
about.
Or like the hot tub streams that people post all the time on like TikTok. It's like, do we really give a crap about those? Like, come on.
We don't, but
The younger audience might. Yeah,
the
younger
incels
audience
do.
might. Fair.
And then the other one I had, this one probably should have gotten drafted. People will talk during movies at the theater.
Yeah, that's a pretty obvious pick, I think.
I just feel like it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever had that encounter that I
Or like the
remember.
bright cell phone screen in a movie or something like that. That's annoying.
Yeah. But anyhow, all right, that's it. That was a great show. Great pod. We'll be
fun.
back with the States draft coming up later this week. Subscribe. Follow us all on social media. We'll have the links in the episode description below at KarterKast on everything. Dylan's Paper Mario Toy Story 2 streams. Check them out. Yeah.
Check them out.
Football previews coming very soon. Very excited about that. Subscribe to everything. Download SeatGeek. Use code KarterKast. $20 off. $50 minimum purchase required. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.